Dear friends and beloved community of the Chaplaincy Institute, my name is Jurgen and I am core faculty at CHI. We're living through a scary and dangerous time. We're facing the pandemic of COVID-19, the coronavirus disease. We're facing the danger of a rapid increase of the spread of the virus. We will see more cases and more deaths. This is a scary time, and like nothing we have experienced in our lifetimes. I imagine many of you are worried and scared. I know that some, or even many of us, belong to the risk groups. Those who are 60 years of age or older, those who are immune compromised, or those who have underlying diseases like heart disease or respiratory symptoms. During this scary and dangerous times, how can we come together and support one another as this wonderful community we call the Chaplaincy Institute? At our ordinations, we always provide a charge to our ordinants. Today, I would like to speak a charge for all of us. I'd like to charge us to practice spiritual connecting while we also practice social distancing. Let me repeat this. I charge us to practice spiritual connecting while we also practice social distancing. Social distancing is so important right now. There's no vaccine for this disease. There's no treatment for COVID-19. The best that we can do is to slow the rate of infection of this disease. We can try to flatten the curve rather than lots of infections happening in the near future. If we can spread out the future infections, a lot of good can happen from this because we will avoid overwhelming the healthcare system and we will be able to provide better care for those who need it. Social distancing is important to slow the spread of the disease so that more help is available for those who need it. At the same time, I encourage us to practice spiritual connecting. Let's connect with each other, with ourselves, with the divine, and with the hurting world. We can connect with each other in non-physical ways, through phone calls, emails, messaging, social media, or video conferencing, like I am connecting with you and reaching out to you now through this digital media. I encourage you to consider connecting with CHI satellites, with your ordination cohorts, with your graduation peers, through the Yahoo group, or through the spiritual support line of the Chaplaincy Institute. I encourage you to connect with yourself. I know I have been off-center when I've been scared or overwhelmed by conflicting information or lack of good guidance. I encourage all of us to connect to ourselves and our hearts, to find our centers, to connect to the divine within. This is my segue to encourage you to connect to the divine. I encourage you to use prayer and ritual, contemplative practice and meditation, spiritual journeying to connect to your spirit animals or spirit teachers. Reach out and connect to the divine in whatever way works best for you. Seek the divine protection for yourself and for all of us and for the world. And finally, I encourage you to connect to the hurting world, especially those who are most marginalized and in need. I'm thinking of all of you, and my heart goes out to you in your lives and in your ministries. I ask that the divine may bless all of us and allow us to be blessings and agents of healing for those around us and for this world. Namaste.